I do apologize. I know I come in a little later than what I expected for real. I know I said I wanted to come in between 9 and 9:30, but I was just up, just like, chilling, just going over in my mind what I've actually been experiencing within like the last within like these last um like 12 to 24 hours. I actually went through an amazing and incredible experience that I actually want to talk to y'all about, and is related to music. But I definitely want to say peace to everybody. I want to thank the Most High God Creator for waking me up for the AM, for this rising, also for me to be out here streaming towards y'all. AJL Meadows, hey Rain Love, hey Sister Demon, streaming for y'all. I'm saying, out of love. I pray for your protection, over all of us. Hey Shantina Walker, saying, and just let this be a really great stream because it needs to come. Hey George Mills, Happy New Year, as we say. We know the real New Year comes in like spring, but we in 2023 right now. But I really got to say, like, hey Jessica, and I really got to say, like, I've actually went through in an amazing experience yesterday. Hey Classic Creole, what's going on? And I really got to talk to y'all about this because this is something I've been going through. Hey Barbara Davis, this is something that, thank you darling. Hey Dallas Washington, you know hey Bathsheba Sherman. Yup, and this is something that I really want to talk to y'all about, as far as like, my experience, as far as like, what happened to me, like on a spiritual tip, because, yesterday, man, like it's like I'm feeling this strong positive energy. And this is something I'm gonna hey lovely, I'm gonna correlate all of this together. I don't know how long am I gonna be on this stream, but I just need to really take my time because you would not believe what happened yesterday. Right now, check it out. Right, I was up in my room, on the cloud yesterday, chilling out for real. And I wound up bumping to one of my favorite groups of all time. And because on that album this year is going to be pretty much 25 years old, and it's one of my favorite albums of all time that got me through a lot of times, and it's an amazing album. And I'm going to correlate this, right along with the experience with this art, with these artists, because I firmly believe they could be the greatest duo ever, and that is Outkast, Andre and Big Boy. When I listened to that album Outkast Aquemini yesterday, I've been listening to it amazingly lately. And when I was bumping to Outkast Aquemini, that album put me in such a deep meditative state, to the point where when I was listening to what they said, I was picking up what they were saying. What up, Rashid? It was to the point where that album was so futuristic. It sounded like it came out today. I said Outkast was so far ahead of their time as far as their lyrics, their style, their sound. Outkast Aquemini, that fucking album, that is the first album that I've ever heard that had every music genre mixed in on it, right along with hip hop. That album is the pinnacle for down south. But I'm actually going to correlate this also. I love Aquemini. I went into a deep experience with Outkast yesterday. But guess what took me there even deeper? When I went back and bumped to A.T. Elegance. Oh my gosh. What? That fucking album, A.T. Elegance, amazing. Those two albums are two of the greatest albums I've ever listened to. It lifted my soul spiritually. I listened to them back to back. Aquemini took me there. A.T. Elegance took me out the stratosphere. I was literally on another stratosphere yesterday. I could not believe. I said, this came out 96? It sound, yo, they were so incredibly far ahead of their time on those two albums. Don't get me wrong, Something Playalistic is a classic. But the next two after that, they went to a whole nother level. Outkast, they showed the formula of to me, they showed the formula of evolution of two worlds colliding and parallel into one another. And they both are air signs, Aquarius and Gemini. When they both lock in together, they are amazing energy together. I've been around Geminis and Aquarius. They are amazing. They got great chemistry. Like Andre and Big Boy, they were not to be fucked with on those albums. Lyrically and the content wise. Hey, Deshaun Coleman, and what they were saying and how they was rapping. I said, yo, I cannot believe what I'm hearing. I heard every word. I'm like, yo, this could not, I said, yo, this could not came out in 96, yo. Those albums hit me hard spiritually, that they elevated me spiritually. That I'm feeling the energy in my chakras and my solar plex, and it's like a strong energy. Yeah, yo, that music, it took me there. They took me there spiritually, yo. Musically, lyrically, you know what I'm saying, verbally, wordplay, it all meshed together. I've never heard albums like that. Those two albums, they are two of the greatest musically diverse albums and lyrically and potent wise and content wise I've ever heard. Andre and Big Boy, they put together two of the greatest albums back to back. Don't get me wrong, they had a 3-peat with Something Playalistic, ATLians. Matter of fact, maybe a 4-peat. Something Playalistic, Something Playalistic, Cadillac Music, ATLians, Aquemini, Stink Only. I got to say, Outkast had a hell of a run from 94 to 2000, but those two albums right there were the pinnacle. They showed growth and they was at their peak. They elevated each album. I said, yo, I could not believe Aquemini took me deep in a meditative state. ATLians took me out of my body. It was an out-of-body experience, yo. And I was on a cloud yesterday. Yo, 1996 to 98 was two of the greatest year of hip-hop. Even 94. The whole 90s was, but I'm going to say 94, 96, and 98, they were the three greatest years of classics albums, of classic albums. 94, 96, and 98 were pinnacle years, and pinnacle years, in beats wise, lyric wise, cadence wise. I'm talking about lyrical assault, yo. I mean, when I heard ATLians within Death, I went deep. I just came back from bumping ATLians. I'm going to bump Aquemini when I'm done. I could not believe what I've heard yesterday and the feeling that I got. It was a deep, uplifting spiritual experience. They went deep into like topics about what's going on. They talk about Egyptian artifacts. They talked about what goes on in the hood. They didn't talk about killing people, killing one another. They talk about black women, relationships. They talked about life and death. They talk about growing old. Like it was just a diverse album of concepts. Like every song told a story. Every album told its own story. Every song told its own story. Every song meant something. Every bar meant something. Those albums fed my soul. You got to go back and bump to Outkast, ATLians, and Aquemini. I love Born in the 80s and growing up in the 90s. That fucking era was uplifting. And it's so crazy and amazing when you go back and bump to that 90s stuff right now. It's really amazing, like how you pick up even more within depth what they were saying back then. Because we can't forget they was in their 20s and 30s. We were younger. Now that we are older, it's like, yo, those albums sound like complete, total different albums. You get within deeper within the concept. It's like those albums, they had concepts and themes. They was driving home a certain point within the album. The beats, it's like every beat was different, but they lined up and flowed together. They sonically and musically flowed together like water. Like Outkast, Aquemini, ATLians, I'm giving them they just do. Andre and Big Boy, I'm going to celebrate y'all today. Y'all put together some fucking amazing albums. Outkast is the greatest duo I've ever heard. Don't get me wrong, I love Mobb Deep, I love Ghost and Ray, I love Helter Skelter, rest in peace Sean Price, Rock and Ruck. I love Meth and Red, I love Prodigy and Havoc, rest in peace to Prodigy. I put Mobb Deep second, but I gotta put Outkast as the greatest duo ever. Mobb Deep second, Jaden Styles after that, Ghost and Ray after that, Meth and Red after that. Matter of fact, Helter Skelter after that, Meth and Red. But I got to say, Outkast is the greatest duo. Because I got to say, the reason why I got Outkast and Mobb Deep, because they both had runs in the 90s. And guess what? Outkast had a run, hey 305 Capricorn, they first three. Mobb Deep had a great run within their second, third, and fourth album. Yup. Mobb Deep, the infamous Hell on Earth for Murder Music, that was their 3-album run. Outkast, Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music, ATLians, and Aquemini was their 3-album run, if not their 4-album run. Outkast and Mobb Deep had two of the greatest runs as the two greatest duos I've ever heard. Facts. I put my stamp on that, but I really got to say Outkast is number one. I'm giving them they just do. Andre and Big Boy, they are the greatest. They are the greatest rap duo I've ever heard, ever. Classic, classic, classic. Yes, they inspired a generation. You get the Lupe Fiascos, the Kendrick Lamars, the J. Coles, the Jurassic 5s, the MF Dooms, all of them conscious, intellectual rappers, or that they might try to put as backpack or sometimes weird. Outkast birthed them, right along with A Tribe Called Quest. Facts. They do not get their credit. I'm going to give them their credit, and they just do. Outkast is the greatest duo ever. Facts. That's coming from a true East Coast city. You can't forget, Atlanta is in the East Coast. It's just in the South. And the reason why I see Outkast, they gave the formula for the South. And then, at the same time, they was the first rap group to me that they was the one that merged the North and the South by doing the song with Raekwon, Screw It on the Barbie on the Aquemini. Outkast show we can flow with them up North cats. They your Big Boy ran into Raekwon. Raekwon was like, we gotta do something, and they messed together. And why the fuck up North did not follow that blueprint? Outkast gave the blueprint for the North and the South. They did. They show we them Southern boys with a Southern accent. We can come on up Northern beats and we can mix in the Southern twang and the slang and the flow. And they mix in with the gospel. Outkast gave the blueprint literally for Southern and up North rappers. I'm giving them they just do. They did. If the North wanted to stay afloat, Outkast gave the blueprint. They opened the door. They said the South got something to say at the motherfucking Source Awards after they got booed in New York and made ATLians in New York and Atlanta. They were the merger between the North and the South. They were. Outkast was the merger of the North and the South. They were. Facts. Yup, Outkast, Slick Rick, yup. And they were storytellers. They do not get they just due as storytellers, as MCs. No, the fuck they don't. They pens were unmatched. That's the kind of spiritual experience I went on with Outkast. Facts, and I'm giving them they just do. The North should have followed their blueprints because look at what Lil Wayne did. Lil Wayne took that blueprint and ran with it. Lil Wayne took the blueprint and ran with it. Facts. That's why he had the longest run as a solo artist from '04 to 2016. Facts. I'm giving Wayne his fucking just due. Lil Wayne took the blueprint of Outkast and ran with it. He did. He did. Why? He was a Southern boy and he came on East Coast beats and he was flowing on the mixtape, and mixtape Lil Wayne was a fucking beast. I'm giving them his just due. Facts. Facts. Wayne was on one in the early 2000s on the mixtape. Wayne was on one. He took the blueprint of Outkast and ran with it. He came on East Coast beats with the East Coast flow from the South. They mixed the Southern slang with the East Coast flow. And they took it and ran with it. They took it and ran with it. Yeah, they were. Street Deuce was hesitant about Outkast. I wasn't. And I want to give Capone from Capone and Noriega props. He said I was like one of the main dudes up north bumping the Outkast. A lot of people, and guess what? When Outkast did the song with Raekwon, that's what gave them respect and props and earned them credit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what had up north. That's what had people from up north came up and started listening to Outkast. That's a fact. Outkast showed on that song with Raekwon, we can flow with the best of them. And we from the South. Y'all doubted us, but guess what? We showing y'all what the fuck it is. Because when Outkast came to the Apollo in 96, you know what I mean? They literally, nobody stood up for him. But when Outkast came back in 98, they lit it up. Facts. Outkast is a great story that many great artists to me could really follow, because when I listen to them, Outkast to me, they showed in particular on those albums that yeah, we not gangster. Yeah, we not gangster. Yeah, we not none of that. We not talking about busting guns, you know what I mean, selling crack and all of that stuff. I mean, Big Boy talked about it, but he wasn't bragging about it. He was talking about, you know what I mean, as a way, but it wasn't on every song. You know what I mean? Like Outkast on every song, they were coming with like many different concepts and many different type of topics to where like those albums took me out of this world. And it put me in their world, and it had me to go deeper within those albums and really listen and what it was doing. It was almost like their words were being encrypted inside of me. That's the kind of experience that I was having listening to Outkast. Yesterday, listening to Aquemini, you feel what I mean, and listening to E.T. Aliens, because those albums, they were very deep in concept and spirituality. And if you listen to the instrumentals in the production by Organized Noise and even Outkast, when they created, they started to produce a lot of those beats on the second and third album. Yes, Andre and Big Boy produced a lot of those beats on the second and third album. Yes, and that's incredibly amazing. I mean, when you look within depth, it was like their words was like, it was almost like, it felt Andre sounded like a typewriter. And his words was like, his words felt like it was being imprinted into my brain. And he was just dropping like so much, they were dropping like so much knowledge, and just by the way that they were flowing, I mean, they were just like, they were surgical on those albums. Lyrically, they were surgical on those albums, and just the cadence and the flow, the delivery. It's like every song was an experience. Like every song was like an experience. Like Aquemini and A.T. Elegance, those albums, they are two of the greatest I've ever heard. I put those up there with the Illmatics and Ready to Dies. Hey, dude, what's going on? I put those, that's the kind of, like, it elevated me, and what it also showed to me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like, they showed that they showed a total different direction. Like, Outkast created a whole genre of hip hop rappers. They created their own genre, like musically, their style was so eclectic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like very, like, they had like, it was boom bap, but it had like it's boom bap with a soul. Outkast, those albums were like boom bap, but it was like a soul experience. You know what I'm saying? It was like they took you into a different world. They would talk about the millennium. Yo, it was things that they were saying. They was talking about the rappers of the millennium. I said, yo, what the fuck? Yo, everything that they were saying is going on in the millennium right now. They said that's why our albums are timeless. They created those two albums are the hip hops. They are hip hops. They are two of the greatest hip hop futuristic albums I've ever heard. They were those albums. If you ask me, they created neo soul. They really define hip hop soul music. That's how incredibly great those albums were. They were a hip hop soul experience. Yes, it was the creative of the yeah, E. Briggs, right. It was creative of dimensional experience led by the spirit. Yes. But it was heavenly. It was a heavenly experience what I went through yesterday. I mean, I heard them back to back, and it, yo, Andre and Big Boy, man, I appreciate y'all creating those albums, man. I really do. Like, Organized Noise and Outkast, they created something amazing. Like, I recommend y'all go back and bump to those albums, E.T. Elegance and Aquemini. Like E.T. Elegance, that album is now 27 years old, and Aquemini is going to be turning 25. Those albums are incredibly amazing, musically, spiritual experiences. Like even the intro on Aquemini is spiritual, it's uplifting. Hold on, be strong. And each album is a classic. It's like they get better and better. It's like the album gets better. It's almost like when I would listen to like E.T. Elegance, man, like that album, man, it was almost like I was floating on a cloud. I was bobbing my head, but I was on a cloud. What up, C Mac? Hey, Amos Khan. Yes, that's how amazing. Exactly, Amos Khan. Yup, they was in Egypt. Yup, I saw that. What up, Marcus the Great? Yup. They was showing how they was over there in Egypt and stuff like that. Yup, I remember that video, Elevators. Like that is yo, you gotta, I mean, man, that incredible experience that I had yesterday was just like beautiful beyond measure. When I say it was beautiful beyond measure, man, it was just so incredibly amazing. Like it really took me to a level where I needed to go. Like that album was like healing. Those albums were like healing. It's like I'm just thinking about those albums, man. Just it's just something, man. And I was reading the comments of the people. They said how those albums changed their lives, and both of those albums did. Those albums, man, they really changed my life. Like I've been listening, study to them. Like it got me more amped up, excited, man, to like, finish off my project and stuff like that. Yeah, Briggs. Yeah. It took me to like, yeah, really within my higher self, man. Like I'm really on another stratosphere, like right now. Like I'm so calm and collective and relaxed. Tell you, man, Andre and Big Boy, man, and you know what I mean, Andre, Gemini, Big Boy, and Aquarius, and I'm an Aquarius, so that's even greater. That intensified it. And I'm just hearing the flow, cadence, lyrics. Like it ain't many people fucking with Outkast, man. It's not. I'm giving the flowers they just do, man. Those two albums is almost like Illmatic. It was written like which one is better, but I can't. I don't even want to compare the two. Like they both back to back classics, and they both stand on their own. Like they first three are just straight classics, without a doubt. But it's just something about their second two. They just elevated and elevated. Oh yeah, Jessica. Hey, Nidra Mills. Hey, Janie Truesdale. Like just elevation of like of the mind and the soul and just that stuff hitting your spirit, man. That's what I call food for the soul. Those albums really gave me food for the soul. What up, Sensei TV? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Outkast first three are classics. Definitely Stink On You was a banger. But I really got to say like Outkast second two Italians and the Criminals just like it's like golden era genius. It's just golden era. It's just pure gold. Like define those albums really define, man, golden age, pure. Like I've been elevated. That's what my spirit is telling me. Like I've been elevated. Like it really, it felt like something was encrypted into my mind and my soul. Like it just, and I've been feeling better, man. I've been clearing myself up even more. Like I'm definitely going to bump equipment now. Like, and I'm going to be, you know what? I guess you could say the rest of the way, I'm going to be listening to those albums as I complete mine. Like it did something to me, like as an artist as well, as a person, as artist. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jessica. Right. That's what I'm saying as well. Like the energy that we in right now, like I can really feel that we are in the Aquarian age. Like it's crazy because understand it. All right, check this out. Right, I really do understand. You know what I'm saying? Like the new year really sparks in like March and April, right? But I got to say, even under their so-called new year, I felt this energy come in. Like I was feeling it like in late December, early January, like this strong, powerful feeling. It's like a strong pull and something is telling me like, you know what I mean, this energy, I think this is the energy of time of activation. And I think that something that's been telling me that we gotta surrender to that feeling. Like, have y'all been having like this strong feeling you feel it in your solar plex? It feels good at times, it's strong, but it feels scary. I think that, like, I really feel like we are in the Aquarians, and that feeling is here. And I think it's telling us to like surrender to it, because I think that's what's going to activate us in our God energy. I think that's our God energy activating. It's if yo, it's like when it's crazy because it's like every time I get that feeling, it feel like a fire burning. Hey, Romeo and Anaki, you feel me? Jessica, it feel like a fire is burning. It feel like a fire starts burning. And it's like a warm feeling inside. And you feel it in your chest. Do y'all feel the same thing? I felt the same thing bumping to those albums. Really, Bashida Sherman? Jessica, wow. Yeah, it feel like a fire is burning in right here. And it's strong. And it feel like something is vibrating in me. Yeah, Jessica, it's warm. It's like real warm, and it feels like something is burning. Oh, Bashiva's called Chi. Wow. Yeah, E Briggs. And guess what? When I came out Sunday, I saw the eagle. So that's the Chi. Bashida Sherman. E Briggs. Wow. You activated your Kundalini. Oh, shit. Wow. Damn. And it's like my breathing has been getting better, all that. Wow, Bashiva's my soul. Wow. Wow. Hey, Keith West. Got you, Jessica. That's something that I've been also working on as well. Semen retention as well. Yeah. Like those albums like really got me on like a different mental and spiritual level. Like it's like my spirit is telling me like it felt like something was encrypted in me. You know what it did? Those albums lifted my soul at this time frame and at this point with that energy. Why? Because look at it, Aquemini, it's air signs. I'm listening to two air signs bring something spiritually in me through their music to uplift my soul. Those are two air signs. And matter of fact, I don't own the rights to the music. None of that. Wow, Jessica. I'm going to let y'all look. Yo, like, I'm having like a soul experience, man. I want y'all to look at Outkast um Aquemini album. Just look at the cover. Look at the cover. It's so much subliminal. They got UFOs back there, Aquarius, Gemini. You see that? Let me try to move it back you feel me? I love this fucking album. Aquemini. I love that shit, man. And this, ATLians. Aquemini ATL. You gotta bump to these albums, man, like, I mean, especially look at that right there. Look at the album cover. Y'all see that? All right, all right. I might have to try to. I'm gonna try to find a way to make it. There we go. Y'all see it? Look at the cover. Trying to find a way to not make it blurry. I'm trying to find it. All right, boom. There we go. Y'all see the cover? One the genie, one the pimp. Look at that. See the two Gemini. Then you got the Aquarius, the water bearer. See the UFOs behind them. Okay, shout out, man. Andre and Big Boy. Aquemini. We're the Aquarian age. Yep, as above, so below. Look at that. Yep, look at that. One with the UFOs, one with the Cadillac. But look at that. It's two worlds colliding. Yeah, I feel you though, Keith West. I love both of them. It's like, don't get me wrong, I love ATLiens a little better, but both of them are classics. But just look at this album cover. This is still an amazing classic album. It's two worlds. It's like the worlds emerge and they parallel. They coming together. See that? Yup. See that? Yup. Big Boy, Aquarius, Cadillac. You feel me? Aquarius, Gemini, two Gemini. See that? Oh, damn, my fault. See, I like how they did that. Two worlds emerging. Yup, and the women as the foundation. Yup, look at the science. Look how they got the sisters with the afros. You feel me? The two worlds colliding. Yes. Aquarius, water bearer. The pimp with the Cadillac. You smooth and fly. Aquarians, we like to dress. Yup, masculine and feminine energy. Yes, look at that. The original people. See? Aquarius. See, Andre was in deep thought as well. He was reading books, Rastafarian stuff. He was reading a lot of this stuff. See, with the UFO and with the Gemini, the two Gemini, the UFO. See, look at that. This behind them looks interesting. Oh, look at it. It's pyramids behind it. What if that is a portal behind them? Yes, they were ahead of their time. Yo, I'm breaking down the cover with a deeper meaning right now. This is why we going through this spiritual meaning. Hell yeah, it went platinum. Yup, I think that's a portal behind them. Yup. Yeah, y'all can see it better this way. Yup. See, that's a portal behind them. And if you look at the portal, they got pyramids. That's a portal behind them with pyramids, yo. Hey, Brian, look at this, yo. We going through a spiritual experience. Yep, and he looks to the east. Yep. Yep, Andre is looking to the east. Oh, my God. Look at the signs in the cover, yo. This is why I went through that spiritual experience. I started with this album. Look at that. That's science. And we can't forget, I think the reason why Andre went even deep, because we cannot forget Dr. Malachi York and the New Wapians. They were down in Atlanta at that time, and they was dropping a lot of this stuff dealing with Kemet. Yup, look at that. This is deep what they was putting out. Yup, Andre does look to the east, and yup, they got the pyramids behind them in the portal. This is so deep, yo. We went on a deep level with this album cover, yo. That's heavy. Yes, it is. It's him and I, Aquemini. Yep, America's Egypt. Yep, look at that. I mean, that's just amazing. I'm trying to make the album cover to where it's not It's not too bright. I'm trying to get it. Yup, they in the capital, yup, of Atlantis. They from Atlanta, Atlantis. Come on. The Atlantic Ocean, Atlanta, ATL. Yeah, look at that. ATL, ATLians. They was in Egypt. Look at the album cover. They was deep, yo. Atlanta, Atlantis, ATL, ATLians. Wow. The masculine and the feminine. That's deep. Hey, yo. To Atlanta. Look at that. Atlantis. Look at that. Atlanta, Atlantis. And we live on the East Coast where the Atlantic Ocean is. This is heavy. This is something. Look. ATLians. Look at this album cover. This is heavy. Big boy, oh yeah, got knowledge of self. Them brothers both got knowledge of self. That experience, what I had and what I'm still having right now. Wow, Jessica, that's something. Like this experience that I've been having has been a very electrifying experience that I've been, having these last couple hours. It has been very amazing. It's been very amazing to the point where, I can, like, I can't even, sometimes I still can't even explain, what I'm feeling. It possibly could be, it possibly could be, this is, beyond measure an incredible experience, man. Like I feel on high, like I feel lifted, like I just feel like a total different person right now. You don't want nothing. I'm gonna get more into that, Jessica. I've been meditating, listen to that Outcast. Yes, like I really got to say, like this experience has been so beautiful and so, yeah, man. Like something told me to go ahead and bump that album. I was only going to bump Two Dope Boys in the Cadillac. Something was like just bump the next song, and it just led me to like a journey of like a deeper spiritual experience where it took me back to like my childhood, but it took me where it put me in a good place. It put me in a place where it was almost like it took me back to the childhood, but it also, brought me into the future. It brought that nostalgic feeling, but I was also in the future. It was like I was in the past and the present in the future at the same time. I went back and had to an incredible, amazing album that had a nostalgic feeling, but it brought me to a spiritual, it brought me to a spiritual experience in modern time. I went through a spiritual experience of the past and the present and the future at the same time, but it brought me a lot of healing. Wow, the first day Erykah Badu Andre 3000 was at a Bobby Hemmett lecture. No wonder. That's why. That's why he was on that D stuff. And Bobby Hemmett is from Atlanta. Bobby Hemmett was from Atlanta. That's why Andre was deep, and also Erykah Badu. That's why they were so deep. He was listening to Bobby Hemmett. Oh yeah, I mean, I apologize. Yeah, from South Carolina. Yeah, Bobby's from the South. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And the Dead Sea Scroll. See, now you are the God. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Bobby used to love saying, you see what I'm saying? Shout out to Bobby Hemmett for waking up his mind. That's why. That's why he was listening to Bobby. And also Big Boy was listening to Minister Farrakhan. So they had a lot of great knowledge. They was listening to the minister, Bobby Hemmett, all different kind of teachers. Yep. So they were incredibly grounded. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Yep. What up, Reggie Burnett? Yep. Yeah, man. This is an incredible stream and experience that we are having. My breathing has been getting better. It's like my insides are healing. My insides are healing. My throat has been healing. Like my throat chakra has been healing. My breathing has been healing. Yes, everything. What we are going through right about now, we are pulling away from the old world. We are going through a spiritual experience that is, we are naturally upgrading ourselves into this realm. We are upgrading right about now as we speak. We are upgrading. That's why, yep, many are called, but few are chosen. If you are vibrating right about now and getting that feeling, and you feeling that feeling I've been feeling, you are upgrading right about now into that 5D world. You are literally out of that 3D world. Like I'm going through changes right now for the better. Hold up, what kind of bird was that? We are in the shift right now. We are upgrading right now as we speak. Like that was like a DNA explosion I'm going through. Those two albums was like a DNA explosion. And I'm going to tell you this right now, since you wonderful sisters that I love. That's why I love, that's why I love when the so-called black woman is knowledgeable. When she's knowledgeable, don't get me wrong, I love all you women. I love my sisters, even you women on here that might not be, you know what I mean, of you know what I mean, melanated, but even though you're knowledgeable, you feel me? I love when I see y'all knowledgeable because it's a different energy. Because here's what's going to happen. The women who are not in tune, see, when you in tune with the divine feminine, you also in tune with the divine masculine. See, the women who are in their masculine, and I'm going to say this, the women who are in their masculine, they are going to be canceled out this year because they are not in tune with their feminine. Because the ones that are in tune with their feminine, the ones who are in tune with their feminine, they don't want to dominate. They don't need to dominate the masculine. The women that are tuned with the feminine are naturally going to mesh with the masculine. Which means though, which means if you got a feminist energy with you, you're going to catch hell. The feminists are going to catch hell this year. Why? Because they are in their masculine and not naturally, truly in their feminine. Feminine women don't need to dominate masculine men. If you are naturally feminine, you don't need to dominate the masculine. When you're naturally masculine, you don't need to dominate the feminine. You will want that energy around you because it's going to balance you out. And if you are unbalanced, if you're not naturally in your masculine as a man, but if you're not in your feminine as a woman, you're going to catch hell. You're going to get canceled out. So you can talk that feminist shit all you want. You can talk that alpha male shit, but you can talk alpha, but you can be living beta. If I'm telling you, because masculine and divine, a masculine feminine energy, it's on a deeper experience. People looking at masculine and feminine on a physical. It is physical, but it's really spiritual. When you in tune as a masculine man, when you in tune with your masculine and spiritual level, you're going to want to get around a woman that is feminine on a high spiritual level. Because your mind is going to elevate so high. I caught the chill saying that. Yes. Mm-hmm. If you're not truly in your masculine, and as a woman, you're not truly in your feminine. I'm talking to the women. But if you're not truly in your feminine energy and really tapped in, you're going to be canceled out. So you're going to see feminists, they're going to lose their mind because this is the year number 7, which you're dealing with God energy. Mm-hmm. What's unnatural is going to be eliminated. You feel me? See, look at that. This is the WordPress. Peace to the gods, to all my 5%ers out there. You see? That's what one knowledge means. 2 is wisdom. 3 is understanding. 4, culture and freedom. 5, power refinement. 6, equality. 7, God. 8, build and destroy. 9 is born. 0 means cipher. (2023). So when you add 2023, that's 43. 4 plus 3 is 7. Look at what 7 means. That energy is going to be strong this year. That's what many of us are going to be feeling as the chosen ones. Website, I caught that on let me see. I caught that on 5% of lessons on WordPress on Google. I Googled that. Yup. And then they got another website on here called Asiatic Supreme Mathematics right there. Because I was in the nation and stuff like that's the bill with the 5% or so. Peace to the gods right there. Yeah, I know, right, E Briggs? That's right, yep. It's unlocking that God from within and going. We are living in a time we are going into our God power, which means, like Tony Robbins said, the John from within. That means the God from within, which means tapping into that God from within, and that energy, now that's going to be calling us to tap in more to that God to bring out, so we can manifest the God of who we are as gods and goddesses. We are supposed to manifest, as gods and goddesses. We got the power to create. This is the time where you are going to be going through a spiritual experience and unlocking the God power. And that God power is a beast. The God in it, that's why I say beast mode, God mode, because when you go into beast mode, that is God mode. When God goes in beast mode, he tears it up. He showed you the creator showed its power when necessary. Yes. That's right. Beast mode, God mode. Yup. That's the kind of experience that I've been having ever since then, man. The uplifting of my spirit and just getting downloads, man, and going into a higher level. It's almost like I'm in a whole different stratosphere right now. Like, like mentally, I'm in a different stratosphere. Real talk, man. I'm in a different stratosphere. This is a different type of spiritual experience, like I've never seen before. Like I've never experienced this in my life. But it's a beautiful, incredible experience that I've been experiencing and witnessing today. Man, I'm gonna have to let this marinate, man. Like literally, man, let all this stuff marinate and just wow. That's all I can say, man. This is beautiful. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm glad I was able to share this experience with y'all. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Just stretching. Oh man. Oof. I might have to get up and stretch a little bit. Oh man, this stream has been a really good stream, man. It's like my mind is just like relaxed. It's almost like things just went into my DNA, man, and I'm just coming out totally different. Like, damn. Mm. Aquemini did that, but A.T. Elegance took me there. That album was a deep, incredibly spiritual album. I see why that is regarded as, they call it the purple tape of the South. I can see why. That album is Jesus, the pinnacle of the South, but that album on many different levels. That album on many different levels took me to a level like I've never seen. And it's beautiful. I got to say, it's a beautiful thing to go through this type of experience. Mm, mm, damn. But this experience is good, man. Yep. So yeah, man. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead, man, and just relax, get me something to eat, man, chill out, relax, and go ahead and just cool out. Cause I got to say, man, this is so beautiful, man. What I'm seeing, what I'm going through right now. Yeah, this stream hits different, man. Like I'm going to be listening to Aquemini when I jump off here, man, cause this incredible stream hits different. Like my mind is just like it's my mind is like it's on a different planet right now. It's like it's really in a heavenly state. And this mental and spiritual experience, man, has been so. You're welcome, Sister Iman. It's been so beautiful, and I can honestly say like this has been a very uplifting stream and experience, and I'm going to continue to keep this energy going. So yeah, fam, I'ma holler back at y'all later. One love, peace.